D'Angelo Russell, what a night here. How do you put all this into context, just thinking about when you were drafted, everything you've been through for the last several years, to coming through the way that you did tonight, helping your team advance to the next round?
Man, good come to good, honestly. To be in a position to make the best out of my situation. Obviously, y'all know what I've been through. Ain't no secret. But to be on top and go with this franchise to the next round and get another opportunity to control what we want to control, it's a blessing, honestly.
When did you start to feel that rhythm with the shot, particularly from three? And what did it feel like just as the ball went through the crowd, the whole experience tonight?
Shots were just falling, honestly. We was getting it done on defense, getting easy ones. We got off to a great start and it never allowed them to get back into it. So for our group, for our starting five, to lock into the game plan and to give us some cushion, our second group came in and did their thing, and we came back and finished it.
Darvin Ham shortened the rotation a little bit tonight. You guys are up 33 after 3 quarters. Defensively, D'Lo, really an impressive, comprehensive effort. AD, of course, leading the way, but what was working so effectively defensively?
I mean, Bron and AD, they both was dominating the game, offensively and defensively. Vando's been doing a great job all series. Austin Reaves been dominating, trying to keep Bane under check. Just for our group, I think it was a collective group thing. No one guy, did that. Our group did it, and this was the result.
Team was, in terms of wins and losses, not in good shape at the trade deadline. You come here and, along with the other guys acquired, add quite a boost, D'Lo. Now, you beat the number 2 seed. You're going to face the winner of Sacramento and Golden State. They play on Sunday. What are you going to be thinking about for the next round now as you guys get a couple days to rest and observe that game?
Like you said, we don't know who we play yet. We're going to let this marinate for a sec. I'm going to get some Cocoa 5 in my system. And we'll go from there.
All right, you got the plug in. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Close out a series, but to do it in a 40-point effort. What was this one a result of for you guys?
We didn't try to go back to Memphis. We did a great job. Defending, AD being everywhere, JV, everybody just chipping in, being active on the defensive end. And then when we got stops, we just ran. Everybody touched the ball. We was moving it and made our shots.
What do you think this team showed you guys as a whole? Obviously, you knew what you were capable of defensively, but the moments, especially tonight, the moment Anthony with the crowd, and just what you guys are really capable of?
We got so much talent on the offensive end. We ain't got to, worry about that end. I think on the defensive end, we got to, bring that every night, even if we don't make our shots, that we, defend on a high level. And that's what we did tonight, and just got to keep that train going.
Who would you like to see in the next round?
Don't matter. We just focus on us, try to do the best as possible, try to play like tonight, and then we'd be in great shape. But for us, like I said, it don't matter who wins. And Sunday, 12:30, I think we probably gonna watch the game, and then we know, and then we're gonna start prepping.
How much of a tone did AD set with his first half play, especially defensively?
He's been doing it all season. He's a defensive player of the year in our eyes, in our locker room. Been doing it since game 1, and right now he's on a really high level defensively. I think he took it personal against Jaren Jackson, and we just need to keep him there.
Dennis, they are not a shy team. Memphis, they talk. You guys didn't really say a lot in response over the course of the series, but how much of it did you guys keep, store over the course of the series?
Yeah, Bron said something before the game. They wanted to bring it back to Memphis. Bane, I think, was saying that, but we took it out on the court, and I think a 40-point deficit to win by 40. It's a big-time win for us, big accomplishment because they're ahead of the team, and but we still got it done and going to the next round.
What was it like to feel the energy of the crowd, to watch LeBron doing what he was doing, AD what he was doing, D'Lo, and then to win this series against that team?
It's amazing, to say the least. We wish we could have got it done, in 5 at third place, but, to do it here in front of our fans is a lot of fun. And for them, the 3 that you named, the performances that they had tonight, both ends of the floor. I thought AD was way more effective than even what the stat sheet shows. Just back line of defense, making it tough for them to get anything in the paint. Anytime you have Ja go 3 for 16, Bane go 5 for 16, you have a really good opportunity to, win those games by big. And like I said, it was great to do it here.
Jovan?
Austin, can you take us through the moment of you with the Euro step into the reverse and then you and LeBron kind of doing the little Euro dance in the lane?
Yeah, I mean, this game is a lot of emotion and instincts, and you have fun with the game when the game provides you to have fun. I told him on the sideline, thank you for coming over and not leaving me on an island by myself doing it. When he come over, I was like, oh, okay, I got another one with me, so let's do it again. But it was a lot of fun.
Kurt Sandoval, and we'll do Gerard on Channel 11.
Austin, I'm curious, what wisdom did you take out of what LeBron told you guys after the game?
Tonight?
Yeah.
It's always good to, win the series, but, the job's not finished. We have another series coming up, either SAC or the Warriors, and, we'll enjoy this one tonight. And then tomorrow, next days, when we figure out who we play, we'll lock in on whoever that is and go compete to win another series. He said, obviously this is my first time in the playoffs, and he said every step gets harder, as you would expect. So it's not really, spending too much time enjoying this is enjoy it, but, there's still more work to do.
Dave?
Austin, one of your opponents this series called LeBron old. It got a lot of attention. Does he ever seem like a 38-year-old to you? And does he ever seem like one of your peers, 24 years old?
No, he honestly seems about 18. He acts like he's 18. He's very childish in a great way. So no, but at the same time, I grew up, I watched a game of basketball. So seeing him play for, as long as he's played, some days I sit back, and it's more so when I go home and family members, friends, or really bring it to my attention that, that I'm on a team with him, is really when I sit back and think about how crazy it is, how long he's been doing this, but how youthful he is at the same time.
But tonight I had a bit of a different game plan. How did you see that work with the starting lineup essentially, and what did you think was the biggest factor to building a lead so quickly?
I just think our attention to detail in terms of transition defense, I can't remember who it was asked me before the game, is one thing that we need to really lock in on was our transition defense. We met as a staff yesterday, and that was the biggest thing that stood out. And then also, just even before that, just coming with the energy, the effort, the urgency. Every possession, we played on our toes, not on our heels. We were great in transition, great on the ball and pick and roll. We wanted to make an adjustment to keep Desmond Bane out of it, continue to push Morant to his right hand, and blitzing Bane. They have some high IQ basketball players over there, so guys have to be aware. They have to be early in their spots early, ready to rotate, ready to cover for one another, and we were able to do that. Our defense fueled everything else. It was a huge defensive night for us, especially in the first half. And coming out having a really good third quarter also helped. Found something, kind of milked it, our angle pick and roll. D'Lo was phenomenal. Brian, A basically dominated the game defensively with his block shots, rebounds, and then our pace. We played with great pace offensively. So it was a great team win, and we're thankful, going from starting 0-5, 2-10, everything we went through, all the ups and downs. I just knew it. We just stayed at it. My staff, I can't thank them enough. Just the energy they brought every day. And getting to this point, obviously, Rob, the different moves we made at the deadline, really trying to fortify our team and balance it out. I think it was huge. And the guys, they enjoy playing with one another. They really support one another. the energy in the building, the energy in the locker room is phenomenal. It was just great, but, salute to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around for years to come. They've gone through some challenging moments during the season, and I just told Taylor I love him. He's a hell of a coach, hell of a staff. And he's managed. He's been the leader that they need, and they'll heal up and get healthier this summer and probably make some moves, but they'll be at the top of the food chain for years to come.
Just big picture, does beating Memphis the way that you did, the number 2 seed, does that crystallize a certain amount of confidence as you now move forward?
No, I told them after the game, we set a standard for ourselves defensively on how we have to play and what we have to do on the defensive side of the ball. As long as we stay organized, we stay disciplined, stay organized, and not turn the ball over. We got a bunch of guys that can put up a lot of points in that locker room. We're going to find ways to score. But the thing we have to hang our hat on is our defense. And, on the ball, off the ball, gang rebound, and we did all of that tonight. And, this thing is just getting started. We passed level 1. Bron had a great, batch of words, some wisdom that he shared with the group after the game. We surpassed level 1, and now, we got to start shifting our focus. Whoever comes out of that game on Sunday, we got to start shifting our focus and really understanding that it's about us just as much as it's about our opponent. We have to be the best versions of ourselves when we prepare to step into the round 2.
Darvin, I know you were here quite a while ago as an assistant coach on this staff, but you haven't seen a home playoff crowd like this in a while, just since you've been here. I noticed Jack Nicholson was back today.
Yes.
How much does being at home, having the home crowd experience a game like this mean to your team?
It's huge, man. To give the city something to cheer for, and particularly the Laker fans, Laker Nation, inside, outside the building, all over the world. It was great. You could just feel that energy. When we were making our run, getting stops, hitting threes, it's just like the building was shaking with roaring and just guys never heard "Let's Go Lakers" so loud. Defense, our crowd is behind us, man, 1,000%. And again, we just have to do our part, give them something to get on the other team about, give them something to scream loudly about. And I thought we did that today, and they were phenomenal. They were excellent.
Darvin, AD had 26 blocks across the 6 games, got chants from the crowd tonight for saving the ball near the bench. What did you see from him defensively, and just how special of a series did he have on that end?
Just a focus, just a focus. Just talking to he and Bron after Game 5, you could see that switch had come on already. We weren't ourselves down there for that game. Really looked a little gassed. So, but having said that, those guys, when we came back, got back, talked via text, it was one of those things where you felt the vibe. And when we showed up to the gym today, we had a team film session, basically looking at some of the stuff that went on in Game 5. Did our walkthrough, then we went through the normal process of the pregame film and so on and so forth. But you could just tell right away. I got here probably about 3:10. Bron was already here, and A was here shortly after. Just that focus, those guys being ready to go, and can't say enough about those two. Bron's leadership, AD, wanting to be elite, telling me verbally he's going to be elite defensively this series. So we just got to keep stacking. As we get to the next opponent, we got to have the same thing. Again, like I told him, we've set a standard for ourselves defensively, and we got to carry through on that.
Darvin, sticking with that theme of defense and with AD, it felt like this may have been some of the best rim protection that we've seen all season. Just what did you see out of him on the low post and really keeping the Grizzlies kind of out of those spots?
Just, we came out with an aggressive mindset, wanted to continuously push Ja to his right hand. And, we had to mix up the coverages. Against Ja, we're pushing him to his right hand, and A had to be up. Against Bane, we was going to send him to the screen, go over the screen, and force him into a blitz, a double team. So he was the main catalyst. He and Bron talking to people, talking it through. Dennis, Austin, Vando. The communication was at an elite level, and that side of the ball is going to get you places. If you're consistent and you play at that level on that side of the ball, it's going to get you places and get you to the destination that's at the end of your journey. And AD, he has to be that. For us to do what we want to do and what we're trying to do, he has to be that anchor for us.
Darvin, obviously you don't know the next opponent. So how do you guys approach these next few days before you play on Tuesday, and how do you scout not knowing which team you're going to face?
Well, tomorrow, everybody will just get away from it. Spend time with the family or do whatever your favorite hobby is. Take a walk by the beach or whatever you need to do. And then we'll recalibrate. The staff and I will get together on Sunday, watch the game, and whoever comes out. I mean, we've already been working behind the scenes. You don't want to wait till you get to this point and then start the preparation process. We've already been doing that. So whoever comes out on top, we'll be ready to go.
Hey, Darvin, how would you compare what LeBron's energy level looked like tonight compared to Game 5, and what do you think went into being able to make that quick turnaround? I mean, just us, when we got back early Thursday morning, I think it was like 1:30 maybe, 1:50, I can't remember exactly, but it was after 1 a.m. for sure. We just took that Thursday off. The staff and I got together. We went through Game 5, saw what adjustments we wanted to make. Matchups, rotations, we went through all of that. Friday morning was just an optional shoot where we made coaches available for an hour. If guys wanted to come in, great. Guys came in, certain guys didn't touch the court, just got treatment. And then we met over here, a pregame walkthrough at 4:30. And so I think that time between, he's probably the best I've seen or been around in terms of what he has to do to recover his preparatory process in terms of what he does for his body, the snapback, especially after all of the years that he's logged, all of the games, all of the postseason runs, finals runs, playing in the summer for the Olympic team, world champion, whatever. He's the master at that. And he and Mike Macias put their heads together, and Magic Mike took care of business, and Bron did everything that he always does, and to make himself available, and not just available at an elite level.
Darvin, staying on LeBron, if I have the details of your resume correctly, I think you were around 38 when you were assistant coach on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not starring on the Lakers.
Right.
To see him finish off that first half run that he had with the two-handed reverse on the break, can you just put some context to how remarkable that is to see?
It's unreal, man. I'm telling you, man, it's unreal. Like, Kobe was nothing short of amazing. Giannis, I've been around some top-tier, elite, top 5 in the NBA talent, but Bron, man, I've never seen anything like it. For him to sustain that all of these years, again, that's what they should teach. They talk about how he approaches the game and he playing the game the right way on both sides of the ball, never cheating the game. Well, in that never cheating the game section, they need to talk about more so for these young kids and young athletes in general, how he takes care of his body. Everything is regimented, his routine is on point, not just during the season, but year-round. That's the only way he's able to do what you see him doing. And again, it's nothing short of amazing, but when you're around him every day, you see how he prepares, it doesn't surprise you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Do you want the halftime box and the final, or just one?
Just one's fine. It's the final, huh? It's cool.
Okay. Let's start with Dan.
Momentum's a funny thing. It can come and go quickly. How are you guys able to build it so fast tonight and never let go of it?
Just getting off to a good start. I think every game, the team that got off to a great start kind of had a better chance of winning. And tonight we wanted to make sure we got off to a good start, and we did that.
Dave?
Deal over here. You've played, 16 or 17 playoff games in your career. Never had shot better than 50% from the floor before. Playoff career high 31 today. Had that been something that ever been kind of in your mind frame, that had been a thing? And what allowed you tonight to break through?
Just happens like that, honestly. You got a lot of great talent in the playoffs, from the first round to the second round to the third round. And to dominate the game the way you dominate the game throughout the regular season is tough. It's tough. So to be in a position to actually make the shots I've been making the shots I've been taking, making the shots I've been working on my whole career. So to finally make some is definitely a good feeling, but the win was better, to be honest.
D'Lo, how dominant was AD defensively in this series?
Huge. I don't want it to go unnoticed with everything that's going on, but the fact that he was not scoring some games but always dominating the game defensively is huge for our team, and he's more than capable when he's on the floor.
D'Angelo, just wonder what the evolution has been since you got here at the deadline, and kind of how the confidence of this team has evolved, and if it makes a difference to kind of actually win a playoff series now and reinforce some of what you guys had seen really from the start of how you started playing together.
I think that's it right there. I don't think it was a confidence lacker for our group. I think the energy since we made that trade or made that decision to bring guys here, we had an energy that was kind of contagious with our group, and that was one thing we could control. And we always came with that energy every day on the plane, on the bus. We always wanted to make sure we were still us, and we brought our us to this team, and it trickled down, and it was contagious. And guys, from the younger guys, kind of fell in the line, and it allowed everybody to want to see the next guy do better, play for the next guy. One guy falls, the whole team's there. And that's the little thing you don't see, but for a team to be lacking that, you won't notice it. But for a team to have that, you'll recognize it. So I just think that's what the team was lacking, and we brought that.
Mark?
D'Angelo, it looks like that anytime you make a big shot or big play, you're really embracing the crowd support. What did those moments mean to you tonight, especially in the context of what this game meant?
Definitely a big game, so anytime you can make big shots in a big game, it's going to be a good feeling. I know the crowd plays a major part in giving us energy, and, it also taking the life out of another team as well when they have the chance to. So forces teams to call timeouts and things like that when the crowd gets involved too. So we got one of the best fan bases in the world globally. So to have that on our backside and know that we can use that to our advantage when we're playing at home, I think it's a good problem to have.
Last question.
D'Lo, you said a few weeks ago that you weren't specifically a point guard on this team. You sure look like one out there tonight.
I don't think so. I think just taking advantage of what the game gives you. If the game allows me to score, I score the ball, which is a shooting guard, right? If the game allows me to pass and I have 10 assists, then I think that's when I'm considered a point guard that game. But being able to dominate the game on however they're guarding me forces me to be a basketball player. So sometimes they trap me, sometimes they don't guard me as heavy. Sometimes you see their best defender on me. That's when you got to take what the game's giving you, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
After that loose ball, and you kind of got the crowd going, it was a defensive play to cap off a defensive night. LeBron said your defense was spectacular. Darvin talked about how you told him you wanted to dominate the series. How gratifying was it for you to have this kind of a defensive effort as a team in a closeout game?
It was really good. We gave up a lot of transition points and offensive rebounds throughout the series. And we knew that's how they thrive. When we get them in half court, it's usually tough for them to score. If I'm not mistaken, it was a stat that 49 of their points came in transition, I think, last game or something like that. I don't know. I just wanted to be solid on both ends of the floor. And I know it starts with me dominating that side of the ball with my energy and effort and the presence at the rim, making it tough for them to score. So just leaving it all out on the floor to make sure that we secure the victory.
AD, you guys obviously had a commanding lead at halftime, but it felt like you guys really blew things open in that third quarter. I think you guys outscored them by 16. What did you see during that 12-minute stretch just on both ends? You guys obviously creating turnovers, getting out in transition, and felt like kind of a culmination of really everything you guys have been talking about and trying to build over these last couple months.
Yeah, we was in the position before Game 3 and they kind of cut the lead down. So we just came out and said that the score is 0-0, and that's the way we approached the third quarter and was able to continue to get some separation, get some stops, and that's how we, approached it and, didn't want to let our foot off the gas. Obviously, this team can score in bunches. Jock can get hot, Ben can get hot, Jaren can get hot. Their role players can make shots, and we didn't want that to happen. So we just wanted to make sure that we wanted to keep our presence defensively, which led to a lot of transition points for us in the offensive end.
AD, during the course of this series, particularly after Game 2, Memphis and Dillon Brooks said a lot of things. I know they said things on the court and stuff too. That's kind of what they do. But I'm curious, did you guys make a conscious decision to not respond verbally over the course of the series? And I guess, do you feel like no response was warranted? People are going to talk. We've had some trash talk on the court in the series, but, all the talking in the media and all that stuff, we just go out and, let our game talk and play basketball. We try not to get in the back and forth with those guys. Obviously, that's how a lot of times, guys kind of get their stuff going. If the guy's constantly talking and you're not saying nothing back, there's nothing, and they're going to eventually stop. I think that's what kind of happened with Dillon Brooks, but, we just wanted to let our game talking. Anytime we step on the floor, just play basketball and let the rest take care of itself. No, not really. I think, it was really, Bron and Brooks kind of going at it. Brooks trying to go at Bron and get him to say things or play differently, whatever. I don't know what his goal was, but Bron never fell into it, and guys on our team just kind of seen that and just no need to talk. Bron said some things in the media about he didn't want to deal with that. He just want to play, and I think God just kind of probably just heard it and just kind of followed suit and didn't really worry about it.
AD, when you see things from LeBron over to your right, when you see things from LeBron like a torn tendon in his foot or plays 40 minutes in a playoff game and he's sitting in his chair next to you exhausted, do you think, oh yeah, he is 20 years in this game, and then does he do things to kind of make that thought go away?
Yeah, the fast break reverse dunk I was right there, and I thought we were just gonna do a regular, dunk, and he did that, and I was like, damn, So that was one of those moments where it's like, all right, it doesn't affect him. But then, like you say, you see him exhausted. It's like, I don't want to say it's the 20 years, but he just leave it out on the floor, and a lot of us are exhausted. He obviously has a little bit more miles on him than, all of us probably combined, but, we just try to do our part around it to make, his job a lot easier. You don't have to overexert himself the entire game, and I think that's what happened tonight.
AD, in the relatively short amount of time you've been together as a group after the trade deadline, how difficult has it been with you as the center of the defense to build the trust factor in the rotations, or if you go after a shot, someone's going to box out your guy? How has that developed? Because tonight it looked like it was near perfect.
Communication. Like I said, after the trade, we didn't have much time to practice and kind of go over things, but we just always talk about whatever in the course of a game. The time that we do get to, watch film and practice, we're in constant communication, and I think that was the biggest thing to kind of fast track our defensive schemes. Everybody wants to win. We know we got to leave it out on the floor, and just telling guys like, look, if your guy go by you, I'm gonna be there to help. I just need you to protect me. All right, cool, done. So guys just seeing
if they do get beat and I'm there, now they trust me, which now I trust them. So now we all on the string. So, but all that just starts with communication.
Last two, Allie.
AD Dennis was just telling us in the locker room that from his first stint here with you guys to now, you in particular, your vocal leadership has grown and changed. Would you say that's a fair assessment, and in what ways do you feel that really benefiting the team now?
Yeah, I try to grow leadership-wise every year, and just want to win. I know my voice is very important in the locker room, alongside Bronze, and these guys lean on, me to not only perform but also talk to them. Guys come to me all the time and asking me questions. What I want on the floor, what do I see, and I just try to take a step every year, especially when they get into the postseason, to talk to the guys and let my voice be heard. So, yeah, it's been a couple years since then. The first stint with DS, but yeah, I think I've grown in that department.
Hey,
Last
D.
question, Melissa.
When games didn't go your way this round, it seemed like you did anything and everything on the court to continue to help the team, and were a huge defensive presence in every single game. What has your growth been like since the championship run in 2020, just in terms of not getting down on yourself in those moments and keeping the main thing, as LeBron says?
Yeah, just keep going. You're not going to have a game that you like every time you step on the floor, but playing with that energy you can control, and I just try to control the things I can control. And that's playing hard, playing with a lot of energy, defense. I can't control the ball going in the basket every time, but on the defensive end, I can control, a lot of things, and that kind of just fuels the offense. So no matter what I'm doing, I want to be able to leave a mark on the game defensively. And that can kind of fuel my offensive game and the team's offensive game, and also fuel on the defensive end for us as a collective. So, I just next play mentality and just keep going and keep playing, and the rest will take care of itself.
LeBron, the only player that's played meant this much in year 20 in the playoffs is Kareem. And just wondered, and at the level that he was then, how were you able to put this together to respond to Game 5? Where did that start mentally, and then when did you start to feel that swell with your teammates as well on the court tonight?
Probably when we landed back in LA after Game 5. The whole thing in my mind was how much rest I can get. Going from that Game 4 where we expended a lot of energy in that game, and then had to leave the very next morning, and trying to bounce back to Game 5. It was tough on our whole ball club, including myself. And from the moment that we landed here after Game 5, all I was thinking about was just trying to sleep as much as I could, rest as much as I could, make sure my body was get my treatment and my rehab and things of that nature, but staying off my feet as much as possible coming into tonight. And felt pretty good when I woke up this morning. I felt excellent, actually, this morning, and reason I was here so early, too. But it was a good bounce back for us, big-time game for us, and, we fed off our fans once again, and, it's great for us to be able to give back to them like they gave to us tonight.
If we could keep our questions to one, please, so I can try and get as many people questions as possible, that would be great. We'll go with Dave.
LeBron, over here on the side, we know the rigors of the job can sometimes be tiring. 40-plus minutes, the travel woes, all the alike, and sometimes your opponents may key in on that as they view you. How does the game of basketball keep you young?
Well, obviously, as I get older, I'm playing with much younger guys. I think my boys keep me young, meaning my sons, they keep me young. So, usually before games, I watch a lot of film on the opponent. But my son Bryce actually had an AAU game, EYBL game in Phoenix tonight. So up until probably about 45 minutes on the clock, I was watching his game. And watching him going out there and performing and seeing him play, that kind of inspired me as well. It kept me young tonight.
Taylor.
Hey, Bron. Obviously, you guys wanted to treat tonight like a Game 7. In what specific ways did you do that, and how did you instill that mentality down through the team?
No, it was definitely a Game 7 mentality for us. We understood that we had an opportunity to play in front of our fans, and we want to try to end it tonight. We came out with a disposition, with a next play mentality, and even when we made mistakes, we brushed it off right away and moved on to the next play. So I just think from the start of the game, we were just locked in on our game plan, and all the way till the final seconds of the game.
LeBron, when you signed with this team in 2018, you talked about moments and stuff like that and the opportunity to have these special moments here, but all sorts of circumstances kept a lot of those from happening, injuries, COVID, no crowds, et cetera. Was there any moment tonight that stood out to you as like, this is why you wanted to be a Laker?
I just wanted to be a part of a historical franchise when I decided to come here and be able to just change the narrative of what the franchise has been going through before I got here for a few years. Obviously this franchise is known for winning championships and winning big and playing in big games and being a part of the postseason and the fans coming out and having an opportunity to be a part of that. So, tonight is another moment that I've always envisioned. And when I became part of this franchise, and like you said, because of circumstances, things of that nature, COVID and, injuries and things of that nature, we haven't had many postseason games with a full capacity season. Full capacity stadium. So far we've had 3 and they've been electric in this postseason, and we'll hope to continue that in the next round.
LeBron, how dominant was AD defensively during this series?
I think he was AD. I think we all know, the world knows, the basketball guys know, the competition know that how dominant AD is defensively. He was AD. He was spectacular.
BT. LeBron, Darvin said that you shared some things with the guys after the game was over about the next level. What did you say to them, and why was it important for you to share that with that team?
Because we got a young ball club with not much experience in the postseason, so just try to give my knowledge about what I've been through and what they could expect. So as hard as this series felt and as hard as this series was, it gets even harder when you move a level up. So we was able to conquer level 1, and now we move to level 2. And it gets harder and harder. So, they understood that, and, they'll be ready for it.
Last 2, go Ramona, and then we'll end with Rachel.
Brian, you talked about just the connection with the crowd in this game. Do you feel a deeper connection with the crowd in LA this year? Just as Dan mentioned that you didn't get to do that in 2020 and 21 and all that. I know Jack Nicholson was here for the first time since the last year's season opener. Do you feel that building as these playoffs go on and you get to play in front of this home crowd?
I feel blessed to be able to play the game anytime I put on a uniform, and to be able to put on a Laker uniform and play for such a historical franchise, it's always an honor. The connection, I think you got to ask the fan, you got to ask the Laker fans what the connection is between me and them. I feel welcome. I'm happy to go out there and perform and showcase what I'm still able to do 20 years in the game, and hopefully I'll just add to more memories that they've had for so long with so many great players and so many great teams, and hopefully I could be a part of some of those memories.
Last question.
LeBron, what was your first thought when you saw the schedule for the next round being every other night, and what challenge is that?
Well, it's definitely going to be a challenge, but both teams have to go through it. It's us, in either Sacramento or Golden State. We're going to be both on the same schedule. The plus is that it's not a 4-hour flight like we were just taking to go to Memphis and losing 2 hours, during the process. So you was losing 6 hours just going back there right off jump. So, we stay in the same time zone. We stay in the same state. It's an hour flight to each place, less if it's Sac, a little bit more if it's to the Bay. So that definitely helps. I know you guys are happy about that as well. Yeah, for sure. Especially BT, he going to wine country no matter where we go. So, he wrote them notes down already. He tapping in already. So, It's all good, man. NBA's in a good place, all right? Appreciate it. Thanks.